Welcome back. A pair of former newspaper reporters, and pretty good ones at that, teamed up to record one of man's quests to build a planetarium up north, as we like to say around here. Ron Legro and Avi Lank wrote a book called The Man Who Painted the Universe, the story of a planetarium in the heart of the northern woods. Now, Ron is under the weather, but we have Avi to talk here. If a TV reporter would have wrote this book, the title might have been a little shorter.
Well, actually, the publisher doesn't like titles this long, but they made an exception in this case. They liked it so much.
Interesting book. I read it. So who is this man who painted the universe?
His name is Frank Kovac Jr. He's a kid who grew up in Chicago. He fell in love with the stars. His father, who was a refugee from World War II, bought him a telescope when he was in junior high school. Absolutely fell in love with watching the stars, and just pursued that his whole life. He realized he didn't have the academic chops to be an astronaut, which is what he wanted to do.
Exactly, right, yeah.
He did join the Air Force for a while. He was stationed in the UP, and he liked how clear the skies were up in that part of the world. So when he got out of the Air Force, he moved to Monaco, Wisconsin, which is east of Rhinelander.
So how did you find out about him?
Ron found out about him. Ron found out about him from a friend who has a cabin up in the area.
Okay. When you think about it, you know, here's this kid from Illinois, Chicago.
Right.
So what you mentioned a little bit, he picks Wisconsin because it's just a better location and scenery for him?
No, well, that's true, but what he really liked was the clear skies up north.
Yeah.
If you're going to stargaze, you know, an absence of light is a good thing, and that's what they can see up there, up by Rhinelander.
Well, let's take a look at this planetarium that he built, and it really is quite remarkable. This is just some of his sketches that he would put together?
That's right. He made this whole thing up out of his head. It's important to understand that it's not a planetarium that projects the stars and moves them.
Yeah.
It's a planetarium that is a big plywood ball that you sit in the middle of. He's painted the stars on the underside of it, and then it moves around you. There are only 4 planetariums like this in the world, and this is the largest.
Now, I recently read the book about the Wright brothers, and I've also read your book. And what I've noticed in the comparison of the two is the struggles they go through, the failures they had. And this guy had a lot of failures to get this thing built.
Absolutely. He built it in the open, up in the north.
All by himself?
Pretty much all by himself. He had some help with the welding. He had a neighbor who helped with the welding. Yeah. It collapsed on him twice.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Yeah, and it took him about 10 years from when he started to think about doing it till he could finally welcome people in and show them a story of the stars.
So this is up in the Rhinelander community. Has it had an impact?
Oh, they're very proud of Frank up there. Yeah, he's a tourist attraction, but he's also a very good citizen. He's worked hard to keep the skies dark up there. When communities put in new street lighting, he's talked to them about baffling it, and they're paying attention to that.
So when 2 newspaper guys get together to write a book, is that like The Odd Couple, or how did that go?
Well, it could be a little bit like The Odd Couple, but Ron and I knew each other for a long time. We'd been friends for a long time. You know, we were able to set our egos aside, and you write this chapter, I'll write that chapter, we'll critique it, cut it up, put it back together again. It all seemed to work out pretty well.
And there you can see a copy of the book right there.
Right.
You're going to be in Whitefish Bay, what, next week?
Whitefish Bay Public Library, 6:30 Thursday night.
All right, and you'll have books available for sale and autograph?
Absolutely, and we'll tell you more about the planetarium, too.
Okay, looking forward to that. Avi, thank you very much for coming in.